How are you?
I'm good. I miss you.
I miss you too. It's so nice to see your face.
You too. I was thinking, who do I want to do my first live with? And I was like, I have to do it with you because we just have such a nice connection. And I know when we first met, it was really love at first sight.
What?
Love at first sight. You bring out the inner child in me, which I've told you many, many times.
You're so sweet. No, I love you. It was like instant connection when we met. It was just like you were my sister.
Yeah, so I think maybe I'll tell them a little bit about how we met initially. So we met at one of the trade shows, and we were working next to each other, guys, and it was really cool because um, she was so busy and I was so busy, and I just remember seeing you, and you were like on fire with the beautiful jewelry, and I had like everybody wearing KNESKO masks, and I don't think we talked that much that first time. I think you talked to my team, right?
Yes,
And
more.
and then we did a couple of other shows, and then the second time I saw you was in Arizona. We did another trade show, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna just speak from my experience. I had a really rough day. Like I can't remember what it was, but energetically, like I was feeling really down, and I had meetings all day, and then we had the networking dinner at night, and you
Right.
just came in, and I think you just flew in, and you missed the first day, if I remember correctly, or something like that, maybe not, but I remember you were running late for the
Yes.
networking, and then you just came in my energy, and you're like, I'm gonna go do sound bath, do you want to come? And I was like, yes. So we just left, and me and you went into this like sound bath, and
Amazing.
and the energy, and I could just feel like everything shifting. Like I came in feeling really vibrationally low, and I think that's because I was just worn out and I was just
Yes.
tired. And after our sound bath together, we were just giggling, and I was like, I'm
We were, we woke up, we kind of came out of it and we were like, okay, super energized.
yeah, yeah, and I think that was really great, and it's a great example of, how I feel about you, which is very much a soul sister on an energy level. And even though I've seen you maybe all my life 5 times, I really feel like maybe we have a past life connection. What do you think?
I absolutely do because it was instant. It was an instant connection. Even though the first time when I met you, um, we could, I feel like the universe kind of placed us together because we kept either being next to each other at a trade show or being at an event together, and we just connected because it was so natural. It was just sisterhood.
Absolutely.
I
And
know, it was so beautiful.
and what I would love for you to kind of tell everybody that's joining a little bit, about your company, because I know that we both have companies that are infused with the gemstones, and I love your jewelry, and I would love for you to kind of like tell everybody.
Well, I'll tell a brief little summary. So I started my jewelry line, I think back in 2000, and I used to do a little bit of different. I still did gemstones,
Mhm.
but I did other kind of more, as I call rock star jewelry, because I always feel like you should bring out your inner rock star because it makes you feel amazing. And if you can have that one special piece, it'll make you feel like a rock star. So I was doing that to begin with, and then I moved forward with a little bit of a health scare for me, and I had to shift my life and change things. And as my life shifted and I changed and I learned a lot about my friends and my life, it kind of came out in my jewelry because as an artist, that's kind of how you create it. It kind of authentically comes to you. So I think at that time, it was a needed thing. It was authentically who I was. And since I had shifted and I had new friends, new people, when I had left everything else behind, which I think kind of made me stagnant in a way because you are surrounded by people who are not like-minded or supporting you, you tend to not really be authentically yourself. So now I am 100% authentically myself, and it came out in my jewelry. So now I get to spread that kind of positive energy now with my jewelry, which incorporates vibrational energy of stones as well as
I love
as well as I'm so happy I love them, as well as color therapy, which I learned as a young child. So color therapy to me is so amazing, which I know you used to with colors of chakras,
yeah.
etc. Colors work in a way where they're energies that you need, or they're the energy that you are. So sometimes you're attracted to a certain color and other times you're not, depending upon what you're going through emotionally at that time.
Yeah.
So,
So,
go ahead.
so would you say like before you started your company, it came after some struggles? Like you
Yes.
faced some, I would love to hear a little bit about that. Because I think, as women, people don't, often realize there's so much that goes through. And, KNESKO was formed also after I had some real big struggles, which I'll talk about later. But I think, mental health is such an important issue. And I think it's really important to talk about it because the creativity that we see a lot of the times comes after some kind of traumas or struggles.
Correct.
So, it's very, very common. And both of us have had, struggles there. I know with me, I have.
Yeah, I know we're very similar in that way, that we've kind of gone through similar situations. I think at the time, just when I was going through that and I had to shift my life I had to kind of let go of people that were not supporting me, which I learned, I guess you really learn about people when you're going through a hard time, which doesn't happen very often, but when it does, you need the support system. And so I think I at least did tend to hermit a little bit. I'm more of an introvert in general, even though I'm friendly and I love to make people happy. I'm okay to be alone. But at that time, I felt, I didn't feel by myself, which I usually feel. I felt alone because I didn't know where to turn. And I really became a bit depressed for a while, just trying to kind of read, like, which direction am I going? Who is my support system? Where am I at? And it was definitely hard to get up and get going and get out of bed because I was just not in a good place. And I really isolated for about, I'd say a month or two. I really isolated until one day I believe it was my sister who said, just get up, go take a walk. Just, you need to change your mind, your chemistry. You need to get up. You need to just, because you're not that kind of person that just stays and sleeps and, So I got up and walked, and it kind of changed my day, where I was like, okay, tomorrow I want to go walk again. And I walked for hours. But in that time, I start to think, and my creativity comes out, and you start to get motivated to talk to people or meet new people or etc., and not stay in that, in that state, because you feel lost in it. It's a hard thing to get out of, but I thank God she did it. I know you went through the same sort or similar struggle.
Yeah, I grew up in Australia and I was always so ambitious in my career. Like from a young age, I would travel and, I ended up moving to LA. Gosh, I was 23 initially and I was here just for a couple of months. And then I went back to Australia and I permanently, came back at the age of 25, a long time ago. And I remember constantly working, and traveling. And for me, I give so much of my energy out. I mean, I love what I do. I love making my clients feel good about themselves. And it makes me so happy when other people feel good. And it's always been part of my journey. And for the most part, like I take care of myself, but there was that period of my life where after going 100 miles an hour, I just crashed really hard. And I got severe depression. This is before KNESKO started. So I left my career of 10 years with another company. And just after being burned out, like I was living in hotel rooms. I remember I had an apartment, but I was afraid to even purchase like furniture because I was never there. Like I would lease apartments that were, like furnished basically because I didn't belong. Like, do I go back to Australia? Do I stay here? Like, I just remember sort of feeling always like
Lost.
Where do I belong? Like I was born in Europe. I grew up in Australia. I live in LA. Like, where do I belong? And
Right.
really weird feeling. But I remember I always worked so hard and I forgot to take care of myself. And this is before KNESKO was born because I was just giving. And then I just crashed. And I was so depleted and I got so depressed. And I left my other job. And at this time, me and my husband, well, we were dating before. I didn't plan to meet him, but it happened. And
Right.
he's like, you know, let's get married. And I'm like, okay, we get married. It was obviously meant to be. And but he's like, do you want to like do anything else? I'm like, I always had a dream to start my own cosmetic brand. And but I am so tired. Like I cannot give to anybody. Like I am physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally drained.
Drained.
And I need to rest. And I knew one thing was that like I really need to heal. I didn't know much more than that. I just knew that I went hardcore for 10 years, traveling the world, working really, really hard. But then I got so tired and I just knew it's time to honor my body. It's time
Right.
to listen because I stopped listening. And I've been doing Reiki and I've been doing like crystals saved me. Like I would meditate. But you know, when you take it too hard and like you just gotta just
You just,
stop, you know?
you have to. It's almost like, to me, it's like, it's the same as affirmations, right? You have to choose it because you're stuck in it. And unless you choose to make those changes, or try, at least at the time, you try to make those changes, at least you're giving your mind the opportunity to move forward from the depression and feeling and struggles that you're having.
Absolutely. I was like, I just need to rest. So I took some time off. I remember watching a ton of Criminal Minds.
I
and,
love that.
and somewhere along there, you know, my husband's like, are you ready to like register a company? And I'm like,
Right?
let's register a business. That was back in 2012. I said,
Yeah.
but you have to understand that once I'm back, I want to give it all, my heart, my soul, everything. And I cannot give from an empty vessel. I first need to heal my heart, my soul, and rest. And then I'm going to be able to be of service to my clients. Because after working for so long, I was always in a business of self-care, of encouraging my ladies and men, of course, to feel good, you know, makeup, skincare, cosmetics, always really nurturing. So I knew, and I always used to listen to people say things like, I never have time for myself. I'm too old. I've got babies. You know, it's too late for me. You know, there's so many excuses that we give ourselves
I
why we should
agree.
just not take care, right? Like so many
You
reasons.
have to.
And I was always so passionate about that because I knew that I always wanted to start a brand that promotes self-care and self-love. And for me, the way I do that is through nurturing products that are, you know, in our instance, you know, infused with the crystal energy, with technology, of course, because we're in business of skincare. So skincare has to deliver, otherwise no one's gonna buy it, you know. And but energy is so important. So as a Reiki master, I actually charge everything with Reiki, which I can
Which
talk
I
about
love.
later. But like you, like it didn't come overnight. Like I had to go through experience and feel pain in order to feel, to be, to to give myself the expression and the creativity to just make one step after another and
Yes.
think too far ahead, right?
No, 100%. You do. Because I understand that, where even with mine, I don't think anything just comes overnight, but it does come. The idea comes as an artist, the idea comes, but then the creativity of what you want to put forth with it and how it is part of you, because your brand is you, is a part of you, just like my brand is a part of me, or how important the gemstones are, the vibrational energy, because we're all energy and we're all connected, and how important that is, that message. And just trying to stay positive in your everyday with your self-care, with your mindset, with the things that you choose to do every day. So I think all of that is so important. And it does. I think it's a buildup, because I have people that say to me all the time, even just with affirmations, right? How do I start doing that? Because it doesn't resonate with them. They can't just say, I'm going to do this today. And it happens to them. So it has to be like baby steps, just like anything else that we learned in our experiences. They have to learn a new experience.
So
So
can
it's
you
really
tell
important.
everybody that's watching affirmations, what do they mean to you? And sort of like, you know, just curious, your thoughts on that. Because
On you mean why I feel out, or how affirmations work?
yeah, yeah.
Well, my kind of theory behind affirmations, to me personally, is that it's like a little seed. So we all have like a little plant in our body every day. And it's grown from when we were young, things we were told, just false belief system is basically what it is. Of somebody told you were ugly, you were stupid, or you weren't good enough, or whatever it is that somebody said. It could have been one person, it could have been every day, but there's a plant that believes that stays in you. So with affirmations, they're like little seeds that you plant every day to get rid of that old plant and kind of get rid of it and make it die so that you can grow this new beautiful plant inside you that's telling you you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're good enough, you're loving yourself. So that, and I have had my own struggles with that, just in my past with the way I grew up. I was teased a lot when I was young. And I had my struggles with loving myself and body image and things like that. And the affirmations were like, I think it's always a struggle when you have any sort of self-doubt. So it's that constant reminder to yourself and telling yourself, you have to say it in the mirror, you have to say it out loud so that you can take it in versus just saying something to say it. So I always feel like affirmation is really important for that because it makes you the beautiful person that you are and know that and the confident person you should.
Absolutely. I feel the same way. And for me, energy is going to grow where you think so much about it, right? So like yes. For me, sometimes saying, I'm good enough or I'm beautiful or just anything little, it just amplifies that feeling. But for me, gratitude, like a word of I am, like grateful, is the biggest affirmation of them all.
Biggest.
Because
yeah.
I think this is what we forget, especially times like today. I mean, we have to be realistic. The world has changed. We are all at home. There's a lot of stress. My nanny hasn't been here for 6 weeks. So like trying to juggle the baby and the 3-year-old and KNESKO, it's a lot. And some days I cry, I'm like, let it out. Because there's nothing worse than holding it in your heart or like feeling this tension because you got to release that energy. But for me, like I had a client with all our KNESKO products, when people actually purchase them, they get a beautiful, like a ritual. And we tell them to fluff up their pillows, to set the mood, to give themselves the gift of time. Because how many times do we say, I'm too busy, I don't have time. Yeah. And the way my masks are created, it's such a strategic way to slow people down because they're heavy, they have a ton of serum. Like you cannot do the dishes. I mean, you can if I give you some tips, but ideally you don't want to, you don't want to be like vacuuming and like masking. Like that's not relaxation. That's just like, as we are trying to do everything all the time. We want our clients to like say, you know what? This is my time, 20 minutes to distress, to take the time out, to really, really slow down, to recharge.
Right.
And this stems from my experience, obviously, in the past where, I didn't take that stuff, that pause when I needed it. And then I really, really burned out. And so when it comes to our products, like we tell people, like really, like go in, set a reminder. Like my husband, like, I'm like, KNESKO time. Every Sunday, I need 30 minutes by myself, like figure it out.
Yes.
If I'm angry, if I get stressed, if I get burned out, it's going to be a, I don't want to say on camera, but everybody needs to run out of their, house because Lejla gets a little bit tired. Right?
You need that time.
Yeah. But I mean, affirmations are so important. And I had a client, I had a point, I promise, that shared with me this. And we did like a training at a spa, and I usually make one of the girls read it out loud. And we came to the affirmation for our rose quartz, which we're going to be doing in a minute. And I want you to tell them all about your jewelry. And I made her read it out loud in front of 30 other people there. And the affirmation is, I'm worthy and deserving of love in my life. And I'm able to receive and give love with ease.
Which is amazing.
But at home, we actually tell people to do it 3 times out loud and look at themselves in the mirror. Because the eye, right?
Yeah.
And you're supposed to feel uncomfortable if you're not used to doing this. That's the whole point. We want to disturb your self-talk of negativity or being down on yourself. So this girl, she just starts crying. And she starts crying, and I'm like, are you okay? Like, I felt, oh my God, maybe I shouldn't have,
Right.
She's like, you don't understand. The last time I told myself I'm worth of love, she's like, I can't even remember. She's like,
Oh.
yeah, I mean, we can.
So it sunk into her. It was hard for her to say the words.
Yes,
Is that what it was? Yeah.
and I expect people to feel that discomfort, you know, like if it's not something common. I swear by mantras, I swear by affirmations whenever I'm feeling negative, or, you know, because we're human. We have ups and
Yeah.
downs. It's normal. Nobody's perfect.
Everybody has their struggles. Yep.
Yeah, but I will verbalize it as much as I can. I will, like, you know, I'm loved. I'm grateful. Thank you. Thank you, universe. Thank you for supporting me. And, you know, my energy shifts. And it also is around people that, you know, surround me. And I think you said the same thing. It's very important what friends and family and people you choose around you that vibrationally
100%.
support you, right?
Yes, 100%. 100%. That circle is so important. I was talking to someone the other day, and she was saying something to the effect of that so many people are saying, I can't watch the news, or I can't watch this, or I can't do this right now during our time because it's so negative, or it's stressful, or everybody is saying that. And she said, because she's in spa industry, she said, you know, that's funny. I'm not seeing the same thing because the people she surrounded herself with are a more positive mindset of person who doesn't, yes, we're all struggling. It's a hard time, but who are we surrounded with to uplift us versus bring us down? So I thought that was kind of interesting because I was like, that's exactly the point of what company are you keeping? Who is your circle and your support? I think it's very important.
And
to
also,
take a look
like,
at that.
times like now with the COVID-19, you know, it's very uncertain times for all of us. I mean, professionally, personally, I mean, everything just shifted overnight. I think what's been really helping me, and I would love to hear kind of what's been helping you, is acceptance, like going with the wave. Like, I'm not powerful enough. I'm not, you know, I'm not I don't know, right? But all I can do is come on this train of, first of all, safety, making sure my family's safe, my babies, you know, we're all safe.
That's important.
You know, keeping other people safe by wearing masks if I go out. But then also it's like, okay, this is acceptance now. This is time for you to just pray, send good energy to the world. And I've starting to do that as of this month. Anybody can actually send me their full name at the KNESKO, and I'll be sending them distance healing every day. So each day.
I love that. That's so, oh my gosh, I love that. See, that's beautiful.
And
but that's your giving back.
This is my little way of helping out, because energy is everywhere. You know, the universe is everywhere, you know, and I know that, you know, with Reiki, it's going to travel time, space, and I'm able to contribute. So I'm really excited about that, to send Reiki. So any of you who are interested, all you have to do is go on our highlights on our story, we just posted about an hour ago, and put in your full name. And end of each day, I will be looking at the list, and might be doing about 10-15 minutes, like, you know, like a meditation, where I'll be drawing the symbols, you know, energetically, and sending you all love and healing. And of course,
oh, that's so beautiful, Lejla. I love that. I love that.
I mean, it's just something little that I do. But what I was going to say, I forgot.
That's okay. That's what happens when we're on here. We were talking about we did get off subject. It's okay.
You know what? We have a question we should answer. It's a really good one.
Go ahead.
It's from Alyssa. Do you have any tips to get into habit of saying positive affirmations without feeling awkward, or will practice help? Do you want to answer?
Okay, I do. Okay, so practice is always key, because just as Lejla said, that if you say affirmations and it makes you feel uncomfortable, it's because you're just saying the words and your mind can't absorb it. So in other words, if you say, because we're on love today, I love myself. If you look in the mirror and you're not comfortable saying affirmations and you say, I love myself, you're going to feel so uncomfortable because you don't love yourself. You're not in that space yet, because you need the affirmations to kill that plant. So if you say things like, I choose to try to love myself today, because eventually that choose to try will become a choose. I choose to love myself today. Then I love myself today. So they're baby steps, just like anything else that you learn. My suggestion is to definitely say it in the mirror. It will sink in and you will feel sad because you're saying something that innately you know you need to work on, and it hurts. Because you need to release the pain to order to absorb the new affirmation. So what do you think of that, Lejla? I mean, that's what I always feel like. It's got to resonate with you or it doesn't sink in.
Yeah, I mean, initially, I agree 100%. What I also do is, and if you guys are watching, I would love for you to try this, is
Oh, hug yourself.
come on, let's do it. Squeeze.
Let's all hug yourself. That's such a good idea.
This is
That's
my
such a
favorite
good
thing.
idea.
It's like hug your beautiful body, like be grateful for it. For me, like I am love. I am love. With our rose quartz collection, actually the mantra on the back is I am love.
I love, which I love.
Because love is everywhere, it's so universal. So I agree with everything you said, but I also kind of give myself a hug whenever I'm feeling really hard on myself. You know, being high achiever, but also I'm introvert as well, which people probably wouldn't believe, but it's okay.
No, I do.
I definitely, you know, physically, and just like keep saying it. So my advice would be just keep saying it.
Yeah, just keep saying it. The consistency and the discomfort goes away. It's just the initial, because wherever you're struggling, it doesn't, your subconscious mind is going to be laughing at you when you're saying these affirmations, because subconsciously that's where your little tree is. It's telling you you don't love yourself, or that you're ugly, or whatever it is that you're struggling with. So it's going to be hard to sink in, because it's that challenge of your brain and how it needs to soak in your soul. But it does get better. Just every day do it, but just choose to try first, and then it'll sink in, and then it'll sink in more when you'll feel it. That's the only way I can say it. You'll feel it. And give yourself a hug, like Lejla said, because that's like the best thing ever. I love it right now.
And also another thing is, for me, if I hear like a negative thought coming in, you know, whenever I can, catching myself to actually not verbalize it as much as possible, and then replacing it with a positive thought. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So it's not perfection, it's progress. And so that really helps me. It's like I choose not to verbalize. I choose words that I want to say as much as I can. And and when I get into a negative state of being, and when I get into that thought, I try to recognize it as quickly as possible, and then move from that vibration into positive vibration, and surrounding myself with uplifting people who energize me, who inspire me, but also the other way around. Because I notice with some you know, like relationships, just giving, you will eventually figure it out that you're being depleted. So it's really important that you're in relationship with everybody around you, where it's an exchange of energy, where you're both contributing, where you're both helping each other grow and evolve as people, right?
Yeah.
So I thought, since we have about 30 minutes, we're going to get into some masking and jewelry.
All right, let's do it.
So should we first do a little, do you want to talk about these ones first? Or
do you want to do that? So then if we do the masks, we're focused.
Actually, the mask stays on longer. Let's maybe do the mask.
Okay, let's do the mask, because I can talk. This is easy to talk about.
Yeah, we don't have to talk too much when I put the mask on.
All right, we're all ready. Get your mask.
All right, guys, if you have your masks, please bring them out. So we thought, just in times for Mother's Day, and you know, we would bring out our rose quartz collection. And because being a mom to children, to pets, to yourself, I mean, so, you know, nurturing our inner child, this collection is all about celebrating that. So perfect in times for Mother's Day, but also any day is a great occasion, in my opinion, to do a bit of self-care. So rose quartz is our antioxidant discovery kit.
Okay.
Do you have that in front of you?
I do.
Okay. Perfect.
I have it right here.
Nice. So I'll kind of tell everybody what's in here. So we have our KNESKO bag, and inside everybody gets a face mask, an eye mask, and our gemstone roller, which now comes in this very chic silicone case.
Which I love, by the way.
Great for traveling. and then the roller comes out. And the roller is actually launching individually June 15th. So
Yay, that's soon.
But these kits,
and you have, by the way, you have a comment that says such a perfect Mother's Day gift idea, and it is.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful Mother's Day gift idea.
Especially now with the spas that are being closed. I mean, most of the world spas have closed. I mean, people are really looking for ways to just maintaining their skin. And this really is such a great way. So the rose quartz we're going to be talking about today for both jewelry and for skincare. So
yeah.
Go ahead. I want to give some tips for applying our eye mask. So if you guys have your KNESKO masks, my favorite thing to do is when you use them, so we're going to just pull out the tray. There's a tray on there.
Okay.
Pull it out of the tray. And the first thing that I do always, so this is kind of a little thing I've got going on. I have my eye mask next to my eggs in the fridge. So before I crack the egg, put this on. This is a true story. It's every day.
I love it.
Because my daughter is teething and I'm not sleeping. Like I sleep 2 hours, then I'm awake, then 2 hours. So, you know, it's part of having a baby. So I'm in acceptance of that. I'm dreaming of poolside one day, but for now I'm here. So what
going to happen.
So the first thing I do, which is a great tip, okay, is I pour all the serum out. And there is enough serum on here. So Melis, you can do that.
Yes, I'm going to do that.
So this is actually, this replaces my morning serum. So this is actually my first step. So I apply the serum everywhere.
It's my favorite. It feels so good.
Who is masking with us right now? Can you put a...
Yeah, can anybody tell us if you are masking? Lejla, also, well, I'm sure you're going to tell them what to do with extra serum, but I just want you to discuss that.
Serum, actually, so think about this. In a normal eye treatment, you get an eye mask, and that's all you got. With KNESKO, never the case. You're actually getting an entire treatment. So think facial on demand. So from one treatment, I'm still loading up my whole neck, my décolleté, my face with the serum. So it actually replaces my regular morning serum when I'm using my KNESKO mask, if that makes sense. Okay.
And if you use the mask, what do you do with the serum so they know?
When I use my face mask, I actually pour the serum in a cup, and there's about an ounce, and then I use it all over my body. So first step with eye mask is a face, neck, décolleté application, and then I put on the mask underneath the eye. Now, a little tip. Think of the mask as a delivery of layers, of like double layering of serums, right? So right now, I can feel there's an extra layer and I want to spread it. So rather than letting the mask slide down my face, because remember, I'm making my eggs, so I'm actually multitasking in the mornings.
Right.
I literally lift it for a second, put it on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to spread the second layer all around my cheek. I do my eyelids because I get really puffy. So now I get 2 coats of serum. And then if you have your roller, you can also roll that in. And you know, we're going to do that. And then I reapply the mask. So from one eye treatment, I've got myself an entire skin.
Oh, yeah, that feels so much better.
Do you feel that? So I want you to like really rub it. Because there's so much extra serum, and that's our signature. Like I have clients sometimes, some of my spas, they would randomly email. She's like, did you take out the serum? Like, is there less serum? No, we didn't mess with our formula. Maybe it was like a batch or whatever. Like it happens once a year. She's like, do not reduce any amount of serum. But I think as a brand, we have such an opportunity to talk about our extra serum because trust me, if I wanted, like if I wanted,
there you are. That's okay.
How does that
you know what I do with your extra serum? I don't know if I'm supposed to, but I'm going to tell you what I do because I love it so much. So with the face masks, like I'll spread it on my décolleté, but there's sometimes always extra. So I put it in almost like a sealed jar that I have. And then the next morning I will put more on my skin before I apply my makeup because I don't want to waste like a second of it.
Oh,
So I save it and I use it again.
Oh yeah. So what I do, when I do my face mask, I usually do a face mask for maintenance once a week, but twice lately because my skin's been so dry because I am really not sleeping as much as I want to and should. So hopefully it's only short term. Um, but I pour the extra serum in a cup. I have a shower where my skin is warm. I come out of the shower. I will pour all the extra serum, so about an ounce, all over my body. So
I love that. Okay.
my
While you're warm.
my chest, my stomach, all the way down south.
Okay. All the way down. Okay. I like that idea. I'll do that too.
So do you feel how like tight, like it's in place? You can do like split.
It's so much better because sometimes I use them and they slide, but now that I've really like put that in, plus my skin feels good.
So if you ever feel sliding, remember we're giving you way more serum than you technically need for that one area. Don't waste it. You want to like take advantage of that. That's value added. I mean, I could take that away and like, but we actually, as a brand, we're giving you so much more value. So, I mean, you know how much an ounce of serum would cost in a spa.
Yes.
I mean, 80 and up, really, an ounce. So if you pour out one face mask and you pour out the extra serum, it's about an ounce, which is really very generous. So we always recommend to take the two advantage. So grab your roller.
Okay.
And so you will notice with our rollers is that they're quite large, right?
Yes, I love them.
They're professional size because we use them a lot in the treatment room. And if you kind of hear, they don't actually make kind of squeaky noise. We're all about engineering and developing quality tools, beauty tools for self-care. So with this particular roller, I actually designed the shape on my iPhone.
Did you really? I
was playing with the kids and they were here and I was like drawing, which, you know, I'm not a very good drawer, but still, I wanted it to be a heart shape. Do you guys see that? This is my new one.
Yeah, I do see it.
Shape. So I actually designed the metal on my iPhone and then emailed the manufacturer and I'm like, I want you to you know, design it like that because everything is based on really intention and not just being a trend. For me, all KNESKO products are infused with the gemstone therapy, clinical actives, and also charged with the Reiki. So everything has to have a personal connection and it has to have a purpose. So we have very luxury clients. Actually, for everybody that's watching, Melis has the most beautiful jewelry, which I honestly, when I do my presentations, and this is not an like endorsement, like in any way, it's real. Every time I do public speaking, presentations, anything, I have to wear your jewelry. Like,
thank you.
Yeah. So
it makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Yeah. And so it's like, you know, with our rollers, it's really like we're sold in these beautiful high-end spas. We're in all the, you know, a lot of Four Seas. I mean, we're really in about the same program.
Yes.
You know, our rollers had to be designed very quality. So when people use them in the treatment rooms, they don't make noise, they don't fall off and things like that. So let's quickly do this.
Okay.
So what I always do, you can start at your jawline or you can start lower, but I think we'll just for today start here and then I'll show you the neck in a minute. So always go in one direction three times in one area. And we did apply serum on our skin, so it's going to really help to push it even deeper. So I use my beauty tools every day. So come up a little bit, 1, 2, 3. So I don't really do that.
Okay, no, you just go straight up. You're just moving upward movement, correct?
Yeah. Okay. So towards the lymphatic, so there's lymph nodes right behind our ear.
Because it goes behind your ear, is that correct?
Okay. Deep path, right?
What I've learned from all of you.
So the rose quartz is all about calming and soothing. It's going to help push the serum even deeper into the skin. It's going to help with the lymphatic drainage. So if you ever feel puffy, so what I'll do is flip it on the other side. And you're going to actually go over your KNESKO masks. 3. Oops. Yeah, just move it a little bit. And there's no reason to press too hard because with the lymphatic drainage, you don't have to press really hard. That's right. So you go 3 and then you go like that. And 3 is a minimum, but honestly, when I'm like just relaxing and I don't even watch
It
the
feels
mirror,
so good.
like, come up the neck. And we have 4 different rollers, but this is our rose quartz.
So somebody commented, I'm reading, that they did their mask earlier today. Well, we were there in spirit when she did it. She wished she was doing it now with us. But we love that you did it already.
Hi, Soraya.
I can't see her name.
All our
there it is.
support.
Oh, I love it. Oh, Rachel Vague. Hi, how are you?
Guys, if you have any questions, we would love to hear from you while we're masking.
Yes.
Anything to do with skincare and self-care. So this is the antioxidant mask. It has marine collagen, hyaluronic acid. It has the licorice root extract, grapeseed, vitamin C and E. So think of rose quartz as a powerhouse of powerful antioxidants. It's really going to protect our skin from smog, environmental damage, pollution in the air. And it's a great to go to, great for Mother's Day. People can buy them in a kit. We also have individual, and then great value packs is a 4-pack and a 6-pack of the eyes. So we have something for everybody, which is really, really nice.
Kristen Martin, I'm so excited. She has her eye masks on right now. Yay, see?
Oh, I love that. I
love that.
Any questions, Melis, on the roller? How you kind of working it?
I'm loving it, actually, because I've used your rollers before, but I didn't do this little process, and it feels so good. I love it.
Yes, yeah, so
and I usually do it with my face mask.
Yeah.
I don't really ever do it on my bare skin, which I really, really, really like. So.
Yeah, no, for sure. And remember, with the roller, you can use your existing skincare. So as a daily tool, you can actually use it to help with your own serums penetrating better. And then, of course, using it with KNESKO mask. I always kind of use it with KNESKO mask. So do me a favor, put the roller down for a second. Little tip for you. So another tip with the eye mask. So take it off. There's some extra serum. Take one off, spread it, and come right under the lashes.
Okay.
Because that's where we get really dark and puffy.
Yeah. Yeah, your masks, I will say this, because I have herniated fat bags. Is that what they're called? The little herniated bags under my eyes. And when I put your masks on, that puffiness or the bags, that really helps them so much, just so that they're not as noticeable. Because in the mornings is when they're usually obviously the worst because of fluid. But
exactly.
Your masks have helped a ton of that.
A little tip, if you guys ever get really puffy eyelids, the first 5 minutes, I will actually flip my eye mask. I know it's
and put it up top?
And I actually put it right like that.
And close your eyes and just sit with it?
But yeah, so 5 minutes, don't talk to me. And it really pops right along my lashes, which get puffy.
I'm going to do that too.
And, but then if I actually get, so I just love doing that. And you can also use them on the smile lines.
Okay. Yes. Which I love. I know.
Now,
every place that we can use them.
Now we're all about really, all KNESKO masks are fully biodegradable. So I don't know if you knew that.
I did know that, and I love that.
Yeah. So over time they become, much thinner, and if you put them in a hot boiling water, instantly they dissolve. So we're clean, clinical beauty, non-toxic beauty, without the proper glycols and parabens and sulfates. I mean, we are so grateful. I really believe that we're one of the cleanest masks on the market today. So, and I'm so sensitive to fragrance. I don't care how famous the brand is, and I buy everything just because I'm always trying different things. But if I smell too much fragrance, I can't.
Yes, I'm the same.
Yeah.
I'm very sensitive to smell and sound and light and smells, and yours are just perfect.
And the rose quartz is all about balancing the heart chakra. So I think it'll be great for you to, and we have to show these close up in camera.
Okay.
It's not
I can take them off. Yeah, I'll take them off. So
tell us.
Yeah, my jewelry here. So pretty. So all of my jewelry is, I hand design it and hand make it. So it's all my good energy goes into the jewelry. They're made with one major bead, which is a druzy quartz bead, which pulls positive healing energies naturally. That's what they do, and we're wearing 3 of the same ones. So with the crystal ones like this, that kind of sparkle, it's hard to see. I think, Lejla, they sparkle with your light better. These are, it's the color is part of it, which is your color therapy, and the other part is the vibrational energy of the stones, which can move in a circle through the glass and the positive energy. So we have different ones like this one, which we picked for, since we're doing all about love and loving ourselves. This is sensitivity and kindness, which is our soft pink. We also have a red, which is for love and romance, but it's not just romance in your life. It's also for loving yourself, loving of others, loving what you do. It's just love in general. So that's always a pretty one too. And we also have in the crystal, which is one of my favorites, which is this rosé color. And this one's for radiance illumination, which is perfect for what we're doing right now because we're going to be all radiant when we're done. So there's multiple different colors of the jewelry, but these are the 2 that we chose today for the crystals because of what we're doing. And then I also have affirmation bracelets, which is what we were talking about before, which are so amazing.
What's
so
the affirmation for this one? I love it.
This one is I choose to love myself, which I will read you the affirmation. It's one of my most popular and one of my favorites. And they're all different stones. Most of them are jasper, but they're all grounding stones. So do you have anything from I choose to love myself, I choose forgiveness, I choose gratitude, which is one of my most popular too, because with gratitude, it's you need to say out loud 10 things that you're grateful for each day. It could be the small things, like the fact that we're having this meeting right now, which is actually a big thing, or a cup of tea that you had, or a phone call that you had, or that you're grateful that you were able to have 5 hours of sleep. So whichever resonates with you, it's that you're like, please 5 hours. But so those are all the different affirmations of what you need. So I think I have, gosh, like 18 different affirmations now. But here, I'll put my glasses on with my mask.
I love it.
So I can read you this beautiful affirmation of love myself.
Look at I got my big rose quartz crystal to show you.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I have to show you this beautiful cherry quartz I just bought that I'm in love with.
I got this from Arizona quartzite.
Did you? Oh, you went to quartzite?
Oh, I've been there a few times and I'll tell you about it, but go ahead. I want to listen and close my eyes.
So the affirmation for I choose to love myself is, today I choose me. I will love and accept myself as I am, releasing all criticism or self-sabotage. I no longer judge myself. I am strong, I am beautiful, and I am deserving of happiness. So it's such a beautiful affirmation. And it's the truth, because we all are strong and amazing, and we need to believe in ourselves.
That's so beautiful. I love that.
I know. I love that you went to quartzite and got stones, though. I didn't know that.
So hold on. Sorry, I made up
a
lie. That was from Tucson Gem Show.
But yeah, Tucson Gem Show, yes.
That, yeah, but I have been to quartzite, which is a drive to Arizona. And I remember once me and my friend, we got out of the car. It was like 1:10. And we were like, we don't care. We're going to buy rocks. And we were picking up these hot boiling rocks with our bare hands. We were like dripping sweat because it's literally in the middle of the desert, right? The big, giant, what are they? I don't even know how to say it, but like.
The geodes. The geodes.
Yeah, geodes, like just on the hot, like, road. And you basically can pick up. And I remember dripping in sweat with both our hands, like we had just our hands, and these rocks were just heated from this heat. Like it was hurting to pick them up, but we're like, we don't care. We're like,
don't you get so drawn to certain ones, and it's so beautiful, and some of them are so amazing. I just love them.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. I could live inside. I could live inside a cave. That's.
I love natural stones. I know you and I have talked about how we have our rituals with our stones. I use some before bed. We always use rose quartz, both of us. It's funny that, we're talking about that now.
What are the other 2 favorites that you mentioned?
My other 2 favorites are aventurine, because that is good for your lymphatic system and your liver and your lungs. It's good for a lot of which would probably be amazing for a lot of people right now, because if you're holding that in your left hand and you hold it, it absorbs that and it helps with your lungs. And then the other is just a clear quartz, because it's a power stone. So I always have like a clear quartz.
I love them.
What are yours?
Rose quartz, currently amethyst.
And amethyst, yes.
Lapis lazuli.
Oh yeah, lapis, which I know we talked about. I love that.
Yeah, I know one of my Sarayas on this call from Dubai. I picked up a lapis, massive lapis in Dubai. It
You
was like
did.
at a market. If you, Sarai, you know, if you can hear me, I can't remember the market me and Sean went, but telling me, how do I have to learn how to,
It's
um,
okay.
but
It's all right.
like, hello, I'm doing live. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't you know I'm live right now?
Yeah, but you know, what's really great is that I guess my our both brands where I saw such a connection are based on the importance of energy and vibrations
Vibration.
and infusing in different ways. For me, every formula has a gemstone inside it. So it's part of our technology, which is infusing gemstone therapy with clinical actives, but
Yeah.
also about charging with Reiki. So I actually charge all my products with Reiki. And for
Yes.
you, with your energies, it's all part of, again, chakras and color therapy, which it's really big.
So
So we have so
important.
much in common. And honestly, like, I love that about your line. I think I'm so drawn to it. And I
I
think
feel the same about you.
collaborate and do a beautiful spa treatment when they reopen and do something like we planned, right?
I know we did plan. I know that kind of went, yeah.
Yeah.
Little, yeah.
Um, you know,
But we should do that for sure because it's almost like co-branded in a way. Yeah.
I don't know. I
You
didn't
can-
show everybody's watching my favorite blue ones. This is, I had to bring them because this is like my favorite.
Those are your favorite, your
Yeah.
blue.
This is my life color. Like if I can be like blue is me, like blue everything, you know.
All blues
It's
are
probably,
somewhat because it's throat chakra, so but all different colors of blue mean different things. So
yeah.
it's very interesting how that
Yeah.
color works.
Even though I love lapis, which is a deeper blue, I love your more like lighter blues. And
Yes.
I kind of like, you know, like gravitate. But I just bought a recent beautiful painting, which is all about balancing my root and sacral chakras. So it's a lot of red and orange and yellow.
Right.
Yeah, which is really, really nice.
Yes, and orange is optimism, like courage, which is really funny that that's what you're drawn to right now because that's kind of where we're at in this space that we're all in, right? Is that we need to stay positive, we need to be optimistic, we need to kind of courageously move forward and, have and accept the change and surrender, as we said, to everything that's happening right now, which I think is important for our mindsets and our immune systems and our bodies and our self-care.
Absolutely. We have a couple of questions, and if you guys
Okay,
have
sure.
any questions, feel free to ask them. We have about 5 minutes. So
Okay.
one that I see, is there a time limit to how long we should keep your or any other mask on? We recommend 20 to 40 minutes. Honestly, with my mask, you can keep them on up to an hour because there's so much extra serum. So I can't speak for other brands. From experience, I noticed, and a lot of people tell me, is that a lot of masks will actually dry out after 10, 15 minutes, and you kind of, they're ready because they're not from gel and it's different technologies. But for my masks, you can leave them on comfortably up to an hour. I don't recommend sleeping with them on. I mean, some people actually have said they've done that. There's no reason for it. You're looking about 20 to 30 minutes maximum, absorption will occur. So anything more just for relaxation, and don't be afraid if you're just watching a movie or Netflixing away.
Right.
Leave them on for like 30 minutes. And if you're actually dry, you can actually soak your mask back in. Do you do that? You can soak it again and do like a second round.
Or I rub some more serum in, and then I'll put the mask back on, and then I rub serum on the outside.
Yeah.
I do that. That's funny because I just want to leave it on a little longer.
That's right. So a couple more questions before cuts us out. How do you keep roller clean, energized, stored? So we have a great question, and part of the instructions actually talk about all of that. But this is our case, so you keep them stored in the case. You always first want to wash with a hot soapy water and then dry them. You don't want the metal to get too much water on it, so you want to dry it. And then to energize, I always recommend to smudge them. If you don't have a smudge stick, actually very important is to program your rollers too. So program them how you want them to help you and serve you in your life purpose. So for example, if I'm using my rose quartz, when I say program, I'm saying like, okay, I just want you to be there for me, to guide me on my journey of continuous self-care, self-love. And then you can also charge them in a moonlight, so full moon, even sunlight will do great. Like if you're feeling like energetically, you're just really heavy, and you know what I mean, like you'll feel it. Like if you just feel heavy, don't think about it too much. Just go out, listen to your intuition, listen to your gut. Do I need some sunlight? Go out and do that. Or moonlight, full moon is great. And during full moon, I actually do a whole party.
Absolutely. No, you know how I am around moons. I'm always about rituals around the moon.
Yeah.
But that's a great time to do it and charge it. I mean, if you have a large clear quartz, just a quartz stone, you can also put it right next to that and it'll cleanse, it'll charge it. Absolutely. So that's always good too after the moon.
So somebody said full moon is tomorrow. Awesome.
It is tomorrow. It's a cleanse. We all need to cleanse. You should come on here and do a big live cleanse.
And then one question was, where are the lymphatic drainage areas? So the closest areas to your face and your décolleté is behind your earlobes and under your armpit. So you always want to flush the fluid towards the lymphatic. You always want to, sorry, I have my shirt, so it's hard. So, yeah, so you want to go towards the lymph. That's why we don't go back and forth. We go just one direction. And when you do a face massage, you can also kind of like massage it towards the lymph to really flush any extra fluid buildup that can cause, you know.
I do see a question. Oh, I know who that is. Are you selling the items together? We can. We would be willing to do that. We've been talking about doing that for a while because we think it's kind of a beautiful energy.
But where can they get them? I don't mean to interrupt. It may cut us out. So tell everybody where they can get your stuff.
Oh, you can get my all of my jewelry at www.melis.com. So, and it has all the difference between the crystal bracelets, the affirmation bracelets, my moon intention bracelets, which we do have the full moon tomorrow, which come with a ritual you perform on the new or full moon. Those are really popular and amazing. And I'm going to be having cleansing kits soon too. So that's like really, really fun. I'm really looking forward to having those available.